One Piece! Ikuzo!
Rocks, the legendary pirate crew who ruled the seas 40 years ago before the Pirate King Goldie Roger came into power. While Rocks had since faded out of the public eye after their era, recently during the Leverie, the Marine Hina knew that they were growing in power even after losing their leader sometime in the past. After a lot of connections with the time of the disbandment 40 years ago, we can come to a conclusion of who were part of the crew also had some sort of connection with Rocks. One of them, Shakky, and thus starts the theory of her connection to the strongest swordsman in the world, Mihawk. Before I begin, I am officially sponsored by Amino. I've spoken about it many times before. It's a free app to download, so yeah, quickly download it and join the hype. You really need to see my Amino stories by clicking below in the description and search for my global profile, Flying Panda TV, and see yours truly. As you can see, there are many cool stories waiting for you already. Please support me by following my Amino, turn on your notifications and watch my stories. Like now, I want to follow one of my closest friends, Too Spooky. I can search for him, and there he is, and look, he's my first follow. It's so easy to use, and what I love about it is quick stories, and I can keep watching it again and again and again. I love checking out other categories similar to mine. Look at this. Wow. How to draw Piccolo. Quickly download the app, watch my stories and let me know what you think. Dracule Mihawk's Rocks family connections. Hi everyone, Flying Panda. Before we begin, please hit like on the video and subscribe if you haven't, and please join our Discord in the links down below. The Rocks was first mentioned in chapter 907, The Empty Throne, by Hina when she interrupted Gar while he was laughing about Arcuno's decision to stay away from Wano. She talks about the Rocks by mentioning Kaido and Big Mom by saying, "But Garp-kun," say speaking of Big Mom and Kaido, then continuing by saying that he is the hero of the Marines due to the group. Though GARP'S beats her to it by mentioning their name, the Rocks, this information is really interesting as it ties to the conversation Big Mom and Kaido had a couple of panels ago, where Big Mom mentioned the debt that Kaido had to her and that they should get along, just like the old days. Up until One Piece chapter 951, again is mentioned that Kaido and Big Mom were once part of the same crew. Even though the English translation is now confirmed as Rocks, R-O-X, until Oda's official confirms this, we will continue to call them Rocks, R-O-C-K-S. I always believe Rocks to be an acronym as well. R, O, C as in Charlotte Lin, K as in Kaido, and S. Charlotte Lin is confirmed to be 68 years old, so 40 years ago she would have been 28 years old. Kaido's age has not been confirmed, so the only way we can speculate on his age is by looking at his past rival, Moria. Moria's apparent biggest enemy is Kaido, who is responsible for the death of his old crew. Moria spent 10 years creating his zombie army to get revenge against Kaido, while expressing how much he hated Kaido for the defeat he suffered back then. It has been confirmed that Moria is 50 years old. How annoying it is that if we look into this, Kaido's age 40 years ago can be from 10 years to 18 years old, human years. If Kaido indeed has elements of dragons and giants in him, then of course he would live longer than human. This may be aging slower. Due to exceedingly long lifespan, giants tend to treat time differently to humans. Where spending 50 years on a single man doing tasks would be a waste of a human life, 50 years is only 1/6 of a giant's typical lifespan. As such, a value that demands that giants spends decades on a single task can be seen as nothing by them. R, O, C, Charlotte Lin, K, Kaido, S. Now what about the rest? Now I stated in an older video, I believe it to be Shakky, most commonly known by her nickname Shakky, is the bartender of Shakky's rip-off bar on Shabundi. She's a former pirate, the wife of Silver's Rayleigh, and is also known for once being chased by the legendary marine Monkey D. Garp. It is known that Shakky was once chased by a legendary marine when she was a pirate over 42 years ago. Despite their enmity, she doesn't seem to hold a grudge against him, as seen when she showed no ill will to his grandson and told him of their past encounters. Shakky is now 62 years old, so 40 years ago she was 22 years old. R, O, C, Charlene, K, Kaido, and S. Shakky. We'll talk more about Shakky later on, but let's go on to the R and the O. O is the hardest for me because I really can't think of anyone to be in rocks in that era barring Orochi. Orochi purposely sacrificed most of the territory of Wano to be used by Kaido for war preparation, which allowed him to utilize Kaido's support to ensure his domination. Kaido seems with amusement to regard Orochi as a sickening individual because of his actions of robbing the people of Ebisu town of their ability to express sadness or anger. I won't talk about this one too much because I can't find any proofs. So R, O for Orochi, C for Charlie Lin, K for Kaido, S for Shakky. We are now left with R now. A while back I made a video that is indeed Shanks' father, Redbeard. Please check out that video and to find out why. But due to Shakky confirmed to be in a relationship with Rayleigh, could it be possible that Rayleigh was also part of Rocks? Rayleigh is confirmed to be 78 years old, so he was 38 years old when he left Rocks.
But Panda, wasn't Rayleigh with Goldie Roger? Are you tripping?
I know what you're saying, but don't forget, the Roger Pirates were formed after the Rocks era. There's still a chance that Rayleigh was in another pirate crew before. Rayleigh was 38 years old and Roger was 33 years old. Roger died when he was around 53 years old. It took Roger 20 years to conquer the Grand Line, thus becoming the Pirate King, even though it was thanks to Crocus. 26 years before the start of the story, Crocus met another group of pirates that came to the Grand Line through Reverse Mountain. These were the Roger Pirates and they were hailed from the East Blue. Learning that their captain, Goldie Roger, was suffering from a terminal illness, Crocus was asked by the pirate to join him as their doctor in order to help stabilize Roger's health, as he was believed to be the only doctor with the ability to do so. Rayleigh did mention to Roger that his house was burnt down. Was he talking about his pirate crew Rocks? Rayleigh was called the Dark King after all, the Dark King of the Rocks Pirates. Was this how the rivalry between Roger and GARP started, avenging his Nakama Rayleigh? Anyways, on to the final part, Rayleigh and Shakky. Rayleigh was 38 years old when he had a relationship with young Shakky, who was 22 years old. 40 years ago, or 42 years ago, as Shakky mentioned that she quit being a pirate. It's obvious at that point that she settled down with Rayleigh, hence why she was able to point out to why Luffy was with Bo Hancock. Understand love from a woman's point of view. But there is this one thing that I can't get out of my mind at this moment, is this, and it relates to the strongest swordsman in the world. The connection with Rayleigh and Mihawk is annoying me, and I need to share it. From the beginning, there were theories that Mihawk beat Rayleigh to then becoming the strongest swordsman in the world. This was due to the similar clothing that they both wore. The strongest swordsman's clothing? But what if I said that Mihawk was the offspring of Rayleigh and Shakky? The clothing they wore was passed on to Mihawk from his father Rayleigh. Rayleigh himself is also an amazing swordsperson, even though Rayleigh's hair was blonde, but when he was first shown, he had black hair. This was later changed, but what if it really wasn't a mistake? Mihawk always had this vampire theme about him, and even his name has Dracule in it, also known as Dracula. Dracule Mihawk, the son of the Dark King, Silver's Rayleigh. Now if you're not convinced about the father part, then what about the mother part? Shakky left pirate life over 42 years ago. Is it a coincidence Mihawk is 41 years old? It fits right. You look at the hairstyles of the two, and this time Shakky has black hair like Mihawk. Look at the sideburns, and when older drew Mihawk as a female. The cabin boy Shanks versus the son of the Rocks pirate and the first mate of the Roger Pirates, Mihawk. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. What do you think? Please leave your comments down below. Please click like, and if you haven't, please subscribe to Flying Panda. And don't forget to join our Discord. We have two of them, an anime one and a One Piece one. Check out the descriptions down below and click on my Amino stories. I'll see you guys soon.
フック、行くぞ